Hey, how you guys doing? This is absolutely going to be the hardest meal you ever made in your life. Sauerkraut and pork. Here's the pork. Here's the sauerkraut. Pour the sauerkraut in the pan. But this, you spread it out like that. It's going to be rough. I put some in the bottom, just a little layer. Sauerkraut in the bottom like this right here. Spread it out. Make sure you wash your hands. Okay. After you wash them, you rinsed off your sour. Now this piece of pork here, it has a bone in it right here. See, nice good sized bone. But it doesn't have. Has a little fat right here on the top. But I looked at this whole thing, and I didn't see much fat besides that. So I'm gonna trim a little of that off, and I'll come right back. All right. After, sounds like my phone's messed up. I don't know. After you get this, after you get that fat trimmed up there, put the pork over here. It's gonna be crazy now. You're gonna put it right over. Make sure there's a little thin piece of fat there on top. You want it right on top. Now it's gonna cook down now. Looks like you ain't got much stuff there. Get the rest of your sauerkraut. It's really tough. This is a really tough dish to make at home. Now you gotta pay attention. Pay attention. Here's another can of sauerkraut. Put that over top of that. Down the sides over here. Work it in. Alright, after you get that in there, we're gonna come back with another can. And pour this can in there. That's 3 cans. 10 pounds of pork with the bone in. And then the sauerkraut. You put the sauerkraut all over it. All over it. All around it. All over it, all around it. You got that? Alright. That's it. That's it. That's where we're at now. Then what I'm going to do, here's the hard part. Okay, you guys ready? Make sure you get it all in the pan. Here comes the hard part. You're gonna take this lid right here, put it over top of this like that. And we're gonna take this, and you're gonna get your assistant to put this in the oven. Here she goes. And here you got the lid on. You got the oven going here, right in the center of the oven there, right in the middle. Push it back just a little bit like that. Make sure you don't touch these things. These things up here are very hot. She's right there. That Boston pork butt cooking at 325. I got to turn it down a bit, and I'll come back with in a second here and tell you how long you're going to cook it. Then we're going to come back and put dumplings on top and stuff. It's got to cook for a while. All right, I'll be back. You guys have a good one. Bam! Through the magic of video, taters are all peeled, cut, diced up, ready to get boiled before we can make mashed taters. Taters ready to go on the stove. Over here, a mess. But in here, so far, I put 2 1/4 cups of flour, all-purpose, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which is the same thing as 1 tablespoon of baking powder, just to let you know that. And 3 tablespoons of melted butter, not quite yet. And the milk, not quite yet. And the eggs, not quite yet. But everything else is in here. This is for dumplings. Right there's the original recipe from my wife's mother. Yeah, Kimberly wrote that down. Then I made this. This is my little whole recipe for everything. If you look at it, it's got the dumplings at the top. Tells you what size pork you want, bone-in pork butt, and 3 jars of silver floss or cans. See, I got cans there. These are extra. It's actually probably for next year, because I don't think I need them. But anyway, the old silver cross. I like silver floss. Sorry, I don't know why I say that. But anyway, that's the kind I use. This is a big old can. It's not a little normal can. It's 27 ounces. We went to Walmart yesterday and bought some more of these. You see, these expire in 2026, I believe. Yeah, but I'm not kidding you. I grabbed 3, threw them in the cart, and I was like, well, I'll look at the date, and the date on them were in 2023, which is probably still good. But when I buy them, I want them to be good longer. So I didn't buy those, and I wasn't planning on using them right away. Because sometimes I have to add another can tomorrow. Anyway, so this is my dumplings. That's my taters. This is my sauerkraut and pork. It's almost done. Oh, that little package on the side there. You know, earlier I cut off that extra fat. I put that in a little bag, and aluminum foil like you seen. And Benji and Buddy's going to end up with a dog treat later. Fresh pork fat, cooked up there. So that's that. I'll be back in a second. All right, so you want to whisk. You're going to whisk all these dry ingredients together. And I usually do it about 3 minutes. A lot of people are like, well, that's all stirred up already. You ain't got to do it for 3 minutes. But I do anyway, just to let you know. That's the way I do it. Sometimes I'll turn on a little music, and I'll grab this bowl in one hand and have my whisk in the other hand. And I'll go move around a little bit for 3 minutes, kind of stirring, kind of a joke too. But you know what? It's a little exercise. I get to mix it all together, make sure all that salt, baking powders, and they're all in the right spots. And I enjoy myself. And since I need this other hand. I'm doing a little dance with my feet while I'm sitting here doing this with you. All right. So anyway, you're gonna do that for 3 minutes. Then you got your 3 melted butter over here. You got your 2 eggs right there. You're gonna whisk up. Just break them. Sit here. And I showed you this before. Let me get that off there. I showed you this before. Let me come back. Here's my favorite thing. Whisk up these eggs right here. And that's it. They'll be perfectly all whisked up just like that. And here's the perfect little dishwasher for this thing right here. You got the water running. Take that and put it down in the hot water for a second, just like that. Kind of pre-rinse it. Put it in your soapy hot water. There's a little thing of hot water and soap. I call it my little dishwasher. And then I'll take this. Make sure you hit the blade. And there, tools all perfectly clean. No more scrubbing required. And not that you need to. I usually put a little thing in the bottom there, and I pour my milk in there. Pour my butter in there. Oh, that's my eggs. Oh, my eggs look just like butter. Pour my butter in there. And I'll scrape the rest of that in there in a second. I'll stir this all together, and that'll be my dumplings. Oh, by the way, I give you my family's secret recipe of dumplings. I'm sure it's out there somewhere already anyway. And I'm gonna stir this up, and I'll come back and show you it. All right, so here's how my dumplings come out. All right, that's the consistency right there. And this will make light, fluffy dumplings. I pour this over the top, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is how I do mine. And over here, you see the taters are boiling taters. They're gonna be a little bit. I gotta check my pork. So it's been there 4 hours right now, so it should be getting really close. I'm gonna check it, see where we're at, and I'll be back. All right, I've been checking on the pork here, and it's got pretty close to being pulled off the. Well, let me turn the light on, get a little brighter here. Sorry about that, guys. Appreciate you understanding. Well, here's the bone. Yeah, and it pulled loose from the meat, but personally, let me see. I'll show you. All right, let's check down through here. All right, that meat there is fall off, loose, really loose. This piece, let me check that piece. It ain't too bad, not too bad. No. But you want your meat to be kind of pulling off. I mean, well, everybody's different, but I like my meat to be really flaky like that. Right there. Maybe it is ready, but I was thinking it might need another half hour. So I usually will check on it toward the end here, like I did, and then I'll break it up a little bit, and this will help, get the bone out of there, and this will help the rest of it cook up really good. And I can't, for laughing, get that out of there. So let me get my fork. All right, so I got my fork right, and I pulled that off it was sucking right to the bottom of the pan. I couldn't get it out of there. So anyway, you can see this piece here. This is what I'm talking about. This piece here is a little. I'm not saying it's not done, but I would like this to be cooked a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do, I've looked at my pan here, and I've seen how my sauerkraut is cooked down pretty good, and my pork is cooked down. My boys, because I got a little bit of pork on the floor here, they're all over here scrummaging. Anyway, it's nice to have vacuum cleaners like them running around getting up the stuff I might make a mess with. Keep me from getting in trouble with my wife. So I'm going to put one more can of sauerkraut in here, put it back in the oven for about 20 more minutes. Then that's when I'll come back and put the dumplings on there, and we'll go from there. Anyway, that's a treat that they're going to enjoy. That's what I made up. That's that leftover, the fat I cut off there, and trust me, they're going to enjoy that. And I don't know how, somehow I looked down and I wasn't recording, so I'll have to edit this, I guess. Yes. There she is, ready for the dumplings to get put on top. I'm about to start doing that. I'm going to have my assistant, Mrs. Kimberly, here to videotape for a second, and then we'll probably pause it and I'll finish up showing all the dumplings on her. So give me a second. Alright, so now you get your dumpling mix. You're just going to take a little teaspoon at a time, or tablespoon I should say. You're going to put it right over the top of your, I don't put mine down deep. Some people put it deep in their sauerkraut. I don't do that. What we do is just like this, about a tablespoon. We go all the way around the pan. And I know that will be boring if I sit there and do that all the way around. See, that 2 1/4 cups of flour makes enough to cover this whole pan. Trust me. I mean, I played with that recipe because on the front, we used to make like a double batch, and then I started making a little bit more in the double batch. Anyway, I figured out just enough for this pan right here, which is I think an 8-quart Dutch oven.
My mom's recipe.
Yeah, it's Kimberly's mom's recipe. I was going to get to that in a second, but anyway, we do have to give it where it belongs, and this is what we do, and I'll be right back. So we got it all arranged on there, and that's exactly what I had in that bowl, that recipe you seen on my card there with the 2 1/4 cups of flour. And we're going to throw this in the oven. It's going to be, you put the lid on. Got to make sure this lid's cool. And all these handles and everything's hot because this came out the oven, don't forget. And don't reach in the oven and touch this because it's hot. It's the temperature of the oven. I don't care if they're cool when you're cooking on the stove or not. Alright, so you got the lid on. And you're going to cook this for 10 minutes with the lid on, just like this. And then after that, you go reach in there, you take the lid off, and you cook it another 10 minutes. So 10 minutes with the lid on, 10 minutes with the lid off. And we'll be back. All right, this is my mashed potatoes. 5-pound potatoes, peeled, diced up, boiled till they get fork tender. Here, I'll show you what I think fork tender is. Let's see, watch. Okay, you don't want them to turn into paste, or really a lot softer than that, because you have pasty mashed potatoes. So that's where I get my potatoes at. 5 pounds, diced, boiled, just like that. 2 sticks of butter. All right, I start out with about that much salt in my hand. I'll sprinkle it all the way around. You don't want to oversalt it. You don't want to undersalt it. But that's 5 pounds of potatoes, right? And my water is not salted when I boil them. All right, and I've tried that before. And I didn't like it. All right, so that's my salt. My wife is not a pepper fan, so I put about that much pepper in there. Not very much. Just enough to give it a little accent or hint of pepper. That's about it. And then we're going to get the mixer and get to it. In a second, you're going to let that butter soften up a little bit more, because you don't want to hit that butter when it's hard with the mixer. In fact, I'll see if I can come in here and chop it up a little bit with a fork. There it goes. All right, you get that all busted up in there. Let that butter melt down a little bit. Just like that. Let that butter melt. Don't get in there right away with that mixer. All right. We'll be back. And the reason I got such a big pan here, bowl, when I get on these potatoes with this mixer, I don't want them flying out of the bowl. That's why I use the biggest bowl I got. All right, I'm going to get to this. I don't want to keep going because I know this noise is probably driving you crazy. So I'm going to do this for a couple minutes, and I'll be back. All right, after you whip it up like that, you come back and you give it a taste. I'm going to put about this much more salt in here. I never measure the salt. I just go this route. And then I mix it up and I taste it a little bit. But I'm pretty much done with the pepper. I don't want to over pepper. My wife won't like it. And then I'll be back in a second. All right, 2 tastes is almost perfect. And if you keep an eye on this, see, I tasted it twice. I got 2 spoons over here, and I busted out 4. That way I can taste it each time, and people don't have to worry about me putting my old tongue up and tasting it and putting it back in the bowl. Then, after you whip it up like that, right? I always just go butter. I'll show you. I can use this. I ain't gonna taste it, but until it's like that consistency, right? And I just use butter, 2 sticks of butter. Now I'm about to use some milk in there, and that's gonna lighten it, make it lighter, make it a lighter tater. Some people, you don't want to mash your taters, mash taters. If you want lumps, leave lumps. I always had it whipped like this when I was younger. This is what I prefer. So I ended up putting just a splash of the milk in there at the top. Whipped it up. This is what my consistency is now. Just like that. Just see how light that is? Light and airy. Light and airy. Look. Let's see. Let me see. No. It's a little light on salt. People always add more salt. You can't take it away. So sorry if my finger was in there. But this is it. That's my taters. That thing's over there telling me my dumplings are ready for the lid to come off. Let's go. Let's go check it out. Hurry up. Gotta hurry. Where's my... Oh, there they are. Don't reach in there. You gonna get burned up. Don't you do it. Make sure you got a mitt. That's where I take the last 10 minutes here. All right, sorry about it. Sorry about my videography or whatever you want to call it. I take the lid off. It's been 10 minutes. See how they puffed up? Now we go back in 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes with the lid off. Now there's different ways of making dumplings too. The lid's off. Got 10 more minutes. Let's set that timer. All right, I hear you. Man, sometimes that timer get me mad. Set the timer for 10 more minutes. Don't want to forget. It's easy to do. So we're going to let that run for 10 more minutes. Dumplings will be done. Taters are done. Dinner's done. As soon as that dumplings are done. And what else I got? Oh, there's a mess in here. Kimberly always says she's going to do dishes. So I'm going to let her know in a second here dishes are done. I'm going to get these taters. I'm going to put them in a different bowl. Be right back. All right, 5 pound taters fits in this here container bowl right here. And we got, according to my timer over there, got 7 more minutes on them dumplings. And supper will be ready. And I'll show you that, and that'll be it for the video. You guys have it good. And, oh, I'm going to put, at the end of this video, I'm going to put that recipe out in 2 pictures. That way, you can, if you want it, you can have it. Oh, and some people put apples and all this different stuff, or they rinse their sauerkraut. You can do it any way you want. This is the way I like it. I've tried the apples. I've tried to rinse it. It just don't taste like when I was a kid. This is the way I prefer it. This is the way we eat it. Y'all have it good. Oh, I'm not done with this video. Be back. And there it is. Turn that timer off. Turn that beeper off. Buddy don't like that beeper. Let's see what we got. Let's open this thing up here. Here's our mitts. Don't forget your mitts. Never reach in the oven and grab something hot. There she is. Oh, maybe. Oh, I might not be done. Let's see. Let's double check this. Sorry about that. Sometimes I think about I need a new photo. Oh, that's me. Never mind. I'll keep him. I'll keep him. All right. So I got it. It's done. It's done. There they are. Magnificent. Put you on hold because I can't do this one-handed. Alright, first off, we're going to get that oven turned off. Timer's off, oven's off. There's our beautiful. Look at them. Oh, they're perfect. Them dumplings are perfect, let me tell you. There they are. Look at that. Alright, we're going to let this rest here for a while. And then we're going to get ready to partake in our New Year's dinner. But we're getting our dishes all cleaned up. Got to get some put away. And then we'll be ready to have dinner. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a basic meal. Really simple. It's to bring in the new year. Supposed to bring you good luck. So if you don't have good luck and you didn't eat this year, you make sure you have it next year. Alright. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoyed my little video. Goodbye.